Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We're really excited to have you here. Today, we'll do a couple of practice. We'll have a couple of exercises for you today. And today, we'll be focusing on cultivating a practice of self-care. So I asked you first, we're going to go over some information regarding self-care and why it's important. And then we'll have a couple of exercises for you to engage in. You could be seated. Our exercises can be done seated in a chair. So I encourage you to be in a comfortable environment. And then one of our exercises also calls for you to have a snack with you, or you don't have to have a snack, just water or tea, just something, a little bit, something to eat or drink with you. So we can get started. So I am Julissa, and I am the Director of Programming for the Children's Bereavement Center. And we have a couple of our team members here as well that will be doing some of the exercises. So Amanda, our program manager, and Leah, our program coordinator, you'll get to see them later on today, and hopefully engage some of the exercises that they will be presenting. We also have a special guest presenter, Krista Miller. We're really excited to have her join in tonight. Krista has devoted much of her life to her passions through the performing arts. And as a lover of dance, she pursued a professional modern dance career by the age of 20. She then decided to study massage therapy along with many related modalities, such as shiatsu, lomi lomi, and energy healing. Krista has continued her love of movement and healing through her yoga practice, yoga studies, and teacher trainings for 20 years. She has created kids yoga programs for her community, has taught teacher trainings, led retreats, and has guided through many of Miami's yoga studios and outdoor community classes. Currently, she works as a massage therapist, Reiki practitioner, breath facilitator, dance and yoga instructor. She is the owner of Unahu Healing Arts, offering heart-based healing modalities for all and is currently working on a teen program. Krista loves to honor these earthly bodies and share all she's learned over many decades with others. She also works with communities across South Florida, including Miami-Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach. She is the mother of a wonderful teenage son named Blade, who is a talented musician, and she resides in Coconut Grove, where she loves to be of service amongst nature. So if you are interested in knowing more about Krista and all the work she is doing, you're welcome to follow her on her website as well. And we'll be posting that in the chat. Oh, it's already posted. Thank you so much, Deb. And you can follow her on her website. So Krista, you'll get to see her a little bit later on. She'll be doing some yoga work for us. So before we get started, I wanted to let you know a little bit about what the CBC does and how we support families in the community. So the Children's Bereavement Center it was founded in 1999. The Children's Bereavement Center was founded in 1999, and we offer free grief support groups across the South Florida, and actually across the nation now that we're virtual. We have national grief experts and thanatologists that make up part of our facilitator teams who help children and family in their healing after losing a loved one. We regularly create grief-related resources that can be found on our website. You can find articles, any grief-related books, and other resources that I encourage you to look through. We'll have our website information as well, posted later on, if in case you really would like to know more and need that information. So today we're really focusing on self-care, right? So before we take part in some of the relaxation exercises planned out for tonight, we wanted to touch on the importance of cultivating a practice of self-care in our healing journey. When we think about self-care while we are grieving, it may feel out of place. It's easy to put ourselves last, to focus on our children, on our jobs, or on other people's losses. It may even feel unnatural to think of ways to love ourselves more. But grieving takes a tremendous toll on our mind and our body. And so self-care should be an active and proactive process for that benefits our mental, physical, and emotional well-being. As we encounter challenges in grief and we attempt to integrate the loss into our new way of being, implementing a self-care routine can serve as a framework to help manage overwhelming emotions and everyday issues that may come up as we are processing loss. Ultimately, self-care is an empowering process where we can recognize that it begins with ourselves, and it's important to focus on ourselves and our well-being. In our healing journey, having a consistent self-care routine can help reduce grief symptoms and reduce our overall anxiety and stress levels. So stress and anxiety and other emotions that come up during the grieving process can leave a mark on our mind and body. So creating a daily practice of self-care for about 20 to 30 minutes a day can help reduce the physical symptoms of grief. Self-care doesn't have to be the same for everyone. It's unique, it's individualized. Creating a self-care practice can be a fun experience. You know, you can explore different strategy, different exercises, and identify which ones are right for you and how they fit into your life. So take that time to find creative ways to implement a self-care routine. Just as self-care practice is individualized, so is that journey. So the importance of nurturing yourself, identifying your needs, and seeking the right support is part of that practice. And self-care can help build up that sense of self-compassion, that sense of self-love. Sometimes individuals show that intense longing and desire to be with our loved ones, and it can take an additional toll on us as we process the grief and loss. And we end up experiencing significant distress that can disable us from performing everyday tasks at home, at work, and in other important areas of our lives. So by identifying a good self-care routine and putting into action this routine, you can increase moments of joy and acceptance even after a loss. Learning new coping mechanisms is part of that. It can help us adjust better to the changes that come after a loss and help us set that structure that may be needed for our families, for our children. Self-care also impacts the way that we interact with the world around us. If we no longer have the energy and we are feeling lost in the challenging the emotions that come with grief, there will be little attention left to focus on others around us. So taking care of ourselves is pertinent to that. Strong emotions that come in grief may prevent us from engaging in a regular self-care routine. And there may be some feelings of shame and guilt that come with that. Of course, there are also some myths that come with trying to implement a self-care practice. There's a lot of people that believe this, and it makes it challenging for them to implement an effective self-care routine in their everyday life. For example, we have self-care means feeling sorry for ourselves, and that's not true. On the contrary, self-care is engaging in self-love and compassion as we heal, Another myth, maybe self-care means being selfish and indulgent, or being selfish and weak. Um, and self-care is neither of that. Instead, it means you're creating conditions that allow you to integrate the death of someone you love into your heart and your soul. And finally, some people may believe that self-care is doing anything that suits you. And it's okay. It's okay. Give yourself permission to engage in a self-care practice. It's important that self-care is something you enjoy doing. However, do be mindful that overindulging on food or watching excessive amount of TV or drinking alcohol or other things like this can be the opposite of self-care. Self-care should support and promote health and wellness and should not be addictive or harmful to your body. Ultimately, we're seeking a balance in all these areas of our lives. So as you're here today, I encourage you to think about how you bring self-care into your physical life, So your body, are you engaging in movement? Are you eating right, sleeping right? What are some psychological and emotional self-care practices that you engage in? Do you have a therapist? Are you centering yourself? Are you using mindfulness? Are you, if you're spiritual, religious, are you engaging on a regular practice of spirituality, or within your religious group? And finally, how are the relationships in your life bringing a sense of balance and self-care as well? Do you have support from those around you? Are you allowing others to support you? And how do you engage in self-care in a professional sense? I know for many of us that even working at an office or even virtually, we forget to eat our lunch during our lunch break or work straight through it. So how are you taking that time throughout the day during your professional environment to engage in practice of self-care? These are also some important areas that we wanted to remind you of as you consider creating your own self-care practice. So drinking enough water and eating is important. When we're grieving, our diet and eating habits may change. So take a moment to think about how this has affected you during this time. Our sleeping habits also change. So are you sleeping too much? Are you sleeping too little? What are your nightly bedtime routine? What does that look like? A good nighttime routine can include, eating 2 hours before we go to bed, avoiding using the phone or, computer before bedtime, and engaging in some relaxation exercise that will decrease any of those intrusive thoughts that may keep us up at night. Engaging in any physical activity is also a great way. It doesn't have to be anything that's strenuous. Today, we'll actually go over some simple movements that you can implement every day, and you can even just have simple walks throughout your day, and that's great for our body. Now, find ways to relax the mind by staying present and centering yourself when you're feeling overwhelmed. Mindfulness is especially great for this. And finally, remember that it is okay to reach out for support when needed. Many family and friends are willing to help those who are grieving. Sometimes they just don't know how to help or what it is that the griever needs for support. So connecting with others can reduce that self-isolation that some of us may feel after we experience a loss. You may choose to join a support group. Many of our grief support group participants find that connecting with others who understand the grief process is also beneficial as they heal. So today we will start by doing a little chair yoga. You can hopefully feel comfortable sitting in your chair, and we'll go over some movement. Krista will be going over some movements, and then we'll move on to some breath work that can help you in any stress or just to help you relax. And finally, ended with some grounding and centering exercises. So I'm going to stop sharing and pass it along to Krista, who will be starting our chair movement.
Well, first of all, thank you for inviting me to be a part of this event, this self-care event with the Bereavement Center. I'm happy to be here and to share just a little gentle kind of opening yoga practice. So what I love about yoga is it doesn't have to look one way, and it can be done anywhere and by anyone. That's my philosophy. And I love everything that was shared before, and how yoga can complement this, because it really is about coming back to your center, honoring yourself through your mind, your body, and your spirit, and allowing the body to kind of move through some things, and to always come back to what's important. So my yoga practice has helped me through depression, through becoming a single mom, and it's just what I've always come back to honor myself. So happy to share that. And if you guys would like to move with me, just all I ask is that you honor your body and do what feels right for you. And if it doesn't, please improvise and do your own thing. But I think this should accommodate all of us pretty well. I'm sitting on a bench, but if you have a chair, anything that's comfortable, feel free to find a comfortable seated position. And if you are on the ground and that feels better, no problem. Some things you might have to modify or come back to a chair, but we're simple here. So we're gonna start with a little centering, just to kind of close your eyes and just honoring again everything that was mentioned here today about the self. So if you can just kind of start by bringing your hands and just resting them maybe on your lap for a moment, closing your eyes, and just kind of bringing yourself fully here, which means the mind, the body, and the breath. So as you come into a little bit of stillness, just feeling your body here, even kind of saying to yourself, I am here in my body at this time. Grounding into your hips and your feet. So if your feet are on the ground, just let your feet really feel the ground. And if your sits bones are touching the chair or whatever you're sitting in, feel your sits bones on the surface. Feel your shoulders just dropping away from your ears, and your head resting there on your spine. Your hands resting on your thighs. If you feel tension in your body, it's okay. You're just gonna take a breath in. And when you breathe out, just imagine that tension releasing through your body, through your feet. Maybe you need to breathe out of your mouth, or you can breathe through your nose again, just breathing in. And breathing out, just letting go. And just one more, just noticing your body, how it feels, breathing in, bringing in some love. Breathing out, just letting go of whatever you need to let go of right now. And then just take your hands and start to give your hands a little rub just to feel into your hands. You're welcome to keep your eyes closed, or if you need to see me, you can open them. Just honor again your own little self-practice here. So we bring a little energy into the hands. We honor here the right and the left side. In yoga, we also honor the masculine and the feminine within us all. So we're bringing those together. We're honoring our own healing hands, our energy. And then you're going to place your hands on your heart, maybe one on top of the other, whichever feels comfortable for you. And just come into the heart and take another breath. As you feel the hands and you feel the heart, and feel some gratitude that you have their body, this body here today, to move and breathe. In yoga, we usually chant one little om just to harmonize. I'll chant, and since you're in your own space, you're welcome to join or just listen, see if it comes through here. Any intention for your practice of peace, love, joy. Taking a breath in. Beautiful. And so maybe if you need to open your eyes here, you can. We're going to take the fingers, you're going to interlace the fingers and just start to stretch forward and over. And just notice if you have shoulder injuries and maybe you only go halfway, that's okay. Or if you can go all the way up, maybe stretch up. Again, feel your hips and your feet kind of grounding down and your arms stretching up. You might want to go a little bit side to side just to open up here. Yeah. Good. Now the two hands are interlaced. I'm going to put them behind my head just to kind of give my head a little pillow, a little cradle. And then as I push into my feet, I'll lift my heart, my chin, just let your head and your hands kind of press into each other. Maybe your elbows lift a little bit or they go out wider. Good. And then you just kind of bring the head back and you bring the arms all the way down. Good. So take your fingertips here to your shoulder tips. Take your elbows forward, up and around, and just make some big, yummy circles. So these circles are just gonna kind of open up the shoulder joints and the space around the heart. So in yoga, we work not just with the physical body, but with the energy body. So the heart has an energy center called the Anahata Chakra. And it's symbolized with the color green. So just bringing that color of green around your heart, opening that center. Two more, getting all the little creaks and kinks, whatever you're hearing there, out. And then just releasing back down. Good, 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 good. All right, so now we're gonna go from here. You're gonna bring your hands in front like a little clapping. We're gonna work just a little bit again on the shoulders and the breath. So with your feet down, you're just gonna inhale your arms up overhead. And then you're gonna bring them back down. We're just gonna do that a few times. So if you can, keep your hands together, inhale up. Exhale down. Twice more. Inhale up. Exhale down. One more, inhale, just lift up. Maybe lift your heart. And back down. Now keep your hands up. And then you're just gonna open, you're gonna bend your elbows, you're gonna open your hands, you're gonna make like a little cactus here with your arms. Right? So you have your hands here. We're just gonna look side to side. We're gonna look to the left first. So you're gonna look to your left. And then you're gonna look to the right. And then you're gonna look to the left. And you're gonna look to the right. If you want to add your breath, you're gonna maybe inhale to the left, exhale to the right. Keep going, left, right. One more, left, right, and center. Great. Now you take these two hands, see if you can go maybe behind your back, if you can interlace your fingers. Now, if you have a chair with a back, you might have to scoot a little forward. You might just need to grab your elbows or your forearms behind you. Either one is fine. Or if you have your hands, you're gonna pull your hands back. Or if you have your elbows, you're just gonna lift your chest, pull your shoulders back, and just give your chest a little stretch. Take a breath here. And great. And release. Good. So now we're going to try a little twist. So let's say you're going to take your left hand to your right knee or right thigh. And anywhere this right hand can go back behind you, maybe it's down or maybe it's up on the chair, or anywhere you feel comfortable, just kind of take that right arm back, left hand on your knee or outer thigh, and just start to twist a little bit to your right. When you twist, lift a little bit first and then twist as you exhale. And just breathe there through the twist. Relax your shoulders. Let your head turn a little bit to the right as well. That feels okay. And just take 2 more breaths. And then come back and just switch to the other side. Bring your right hand around, your left hand behind, and then just start to twist. Twist there, over to your left. Good, and then just come all the way back. Good, your arms are down by your side now. We're gonna work our neck and our arms at the same time. So your arms are by your side. As you inhale, you're gonna reach your arms out and just lift your chin up. And then arms out and bring your chin down. And try that again. Inhale, your arms out, your chin up, like you're gathering. And then just open your arms and spread lots of love around you. And again, inhale, you're gonna lift up. And you're gonna go all the way back down. Great. Great, great. Placing your hands here on your thighs. We're gonna work a little bit in the spine. So if you've ever gone to a traditional yoga class, sometimes you're on all fours and you do a cat-cow. Well, we're gonna do that here. You can still do it seated. And it's basically just kind of pushing. You're gonna arch your back a little bit, push your chest forward, and then see if you can hold and just kind of round your back. So you pull the belly in, your chest in, your chin in, and then you push it forward and you round it back. And you just kind of get the spinal fluid opening up, the spinal nerves, the muscles around the spine. This is the flexion and extension. And you start to see how everything is connected, the head and the tailbone. Good. Try 2 more. And 1 more. Good. And then come all the way back up. Great. Great, great. This right arm is going to circle. So you're going to take your right arm, just going to start to go. And again, be careful what you have going around you. Maybe it's a small circle. Maybe you can take it back and around. Yeah. Yeah, circles are good. Releasing anything you can. You know, maybe you've been carrying bags, babies, extra weight. Good. One more. If you want to go the other direction, that might feel good a few times. And if you want to do the other arm, take your left arm, maybe you just bring it up, back and around. Just let the rotation of the shoulder open up. So feel again where you might get a little stuck. You're just kind of moving through that gently. And then try the other direction. Good, one more. And back to center. Good, good, good. So now from here, you're gonna rest your hands where you feel comfortable, maybe on your side. Maybe take that right foot, if you can just kind of bring it up and circle your ankle. So circling the ankle here, just to bring again some circulation, getting everything flowing and moving. The more we can open up, the more the energy can flow through the body. And we're trying to let go of any stagnation. You can go in the other direction. Doesn't matter how high your leg is. Maybe you're tired at this point. Good. Now see if you can take that right knee, maybe even hold it and kind of pull it in a little bit. Your other foot can be there on the ground. Again, it doesn't matter how high, you're just kind of giving it a little hug, a little thank you. And slowly let it go. Good. And then you have the other foot. However you want to bring it up, circle it around. Circle it the other way. Great. Give it a little hug in. Maybe use both hands and just hug it in. Give it a thank you. And lower it down. Okay, we'll do just a couple more. So here we are in we have our ribs and we have our hips. We're gonna try to circle a little bit just to kind of bring our ribs maybe to the right and back a little bit, left and forward. So just letting the back open up. The back takes a lot while we're sitting, standing, driving. So you make it your own, just kind of circling here. Stirring it up. And find the other direction. So the other direction just to even out. Good. So you're not dizzy or uneven here. Good. And then eventually you're just gonna come back to center, right? So center is where we want to keep coming back to. And then from this center position, we're going to take a little stretch for the hip. So this is a good one if you are, doing a lot of these Zoom calls or in your office and you ever want to just take that right ankle over. See if this works. If this doesn't work for your knee or ankle, you can always just make a cross-legged or you can take it up in a figure 4. Good. And from the figure 4, you can stay upright, or you might lean in a little bit. You might even pull your toes, these right toes towards you. You might come even more down to your elbows, or if you feel like relaxing over your legs, careful. But you can just kind of lean, and it's more about this right hip that you're trying to open up. And just relax the best that you can into it. Again, make it your own. Just take a couple breaths to open the back and the hip. Try to relax your head. And slowly let that go. And then let's take that other foot around, make a little figure 4. If you need, just cross your legs. See how this works for you. Maybe you just need to stay here and take some good breaths because that's enough. No problem. Or maybe you just lean a little forward and relax into it. Bring the mind where you feel, where the sensation is. So instead of letting the mind wander, bring it to the body. And it doesn't have to be in a painful way. It can just be acknowledging what would like to open up a little more tonight. And then just slowly bring it all the way back. One more time, take your hands, interlace up over your head just so you stretch up nice and tall. And again, you feel your feet. If you are inspired and you feel you just need to stretch your legs and stretch up for a moment and just keep stretching up. And if you need to do one more little side to side, just to keep the body opening here. And if you'd like to interlace your hands one more time behind your back or stretch once more, even grabbing your elbows or lifting your heart. Bringing your head back. And some of you might want to just relax over your legs or sit back down and relax your head down for a moment just to open your back. So it's just releasing. If you feel like standing and bending your knees, you can, or come back to your seat and relax your head down a couple breaths. And then eventually we just come back to sit or roll your spine up, slowly bringing your head back onto the spine. Closing your eyes again, bringing your hands back into your heart, one and the other. Coming back to center, back to this little inner home, this inner sanctuary. Finding your breath again, just inhaling and exhaling. And my favorite quote of yoga from one of the scriptures is, the yoga is the journey of the self, through the self, to the self. So always coming back to this self-care, self-love, self-respect. As we bow our heads to our hearts and we give thanks for everything that we have, that we can move and practice and breathe and always come back to this special place. Then I'll just chant one little Om, and And I'll hand it over to Leah to continue the breath work. So if you'd like to join me, you can take one more breath in with all of that love, good intentions for yourself and others. So I thank you all for letting me guide you today as the light within me bows to the light within each of you. Namaste. So thank you, Leah.
Thank you, Krista. That was so beautiful. And what a great way to prepare us to do a little bit of breath work now that we've opened up our bodies and we're feeling a little more grounded and centered. Let's go ahead and just focus on our breath for a moment. So go ahead and just stay where you are. You don't have to go anywhere. So we're just going to sit down, making sure that our feet are planted firmly on the ground, making sure that our spine is nice and long, nice and straight. We don't need to feel stiff or too forced. Just sitting in a comfortable position. So go ahead and just place your your hands onto your thighs. They can either be palms facing up or palms facing down. Go ahead and start to gently close your eyes if you're comfortable doing so. If not, you can simply look at a spot in front of you, either on the floor or somewhere on your desk. Just making sure that your gaze is nice and soft. So as you sit here, just begin to notice the temperature of the air on your skin. Notice any sounds that you might hear within the room, outside of the room. Just begin to notice your body's weight as it's supported by your chair. Notice the feel of the floor under your feet. Notice your sit bones on your chair. Notice your legs resting on your chair. Just start to kind of expand your awareness to noticing the sensations of your entire body, really, without feeling the need to really change anything or alter anything. So now let's begin to notice and follow the movement of our breath. So notice as your breath goes in and out of your body, as you inhale and exhale. As you inhale, just notice the temperature and the vibration of the air as it flows through your nasal passages. As it flows down your throat, making its way into your lungs. Notice the different sensations of your belly, of your ribs expanding and contracting. Notice your chest as it just gently expands whenever you inhale and contracts whenever you exhale. Inhaling deeply through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. Another deep inhale through the nose, expanding the chest, belly, ribs. And exhale, contracting the chest, belly, and ribs. Inhaling deeply. And as you exhale, just notice the temperature of the air, the movement of the tiny little hairs in your nose, the feeling of your lungs as they inhale, opening up, exhale, emptying your lungs, allowing the air to leave the body. Just simply notice the things and any other sensations that occur in your body as you breathe. Breathing nice and easily, naturally, in and out. We're going to take a couple breaths on our own, just inhaling deeply through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. Another breath in and a breath out. Just noticing your breath as it moves in and out of your body. No need to change anything. Just breathe. Now slowly start to bring your awareness to your fingers, to your toes, moving them around a little bit. Just feeling the sensation in your hands and your feet, bringing your breath into it. And start to move your neck around a little bit. And just gently open your eyes, coming back to the room, coming back to this wonderful meeting. And that's really a breathing exercise that you can take with you anywhere. Just simply closing your eyes or looking at one place in front of you and just noticing your breath as it comes in through your nose and out through your mouth, and just centering yourself. So thank you so much. And I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Amanda.
Thank you, Leah. I would like to end our exercise with a grounding exercise. There are different grounding exercise, but today we will do together the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method, which is a grounding exercise that can be done anywhere at any time, and it doesn't require anything, just our brains. I want to invite you all to notice the small details that your mind would usually tune out, such as distant sounds or even the texture of an object. Let's start. First, let's start by breathing deeply in through your nose and out through your mouth. Now slowly look your surroundings. I would like for you to find 5 things you can see around you. Look for small details, such as a pattern of the wall, maybe the way the light reflects in the room you are in, or even an object that you have never even noticed. 5 things you can see. Now let's turn our focus on 4 things that you can touch. 4 things that you can touch around you. Notice maybe the sensation of the chair that you're on. Is it hard? Soft? Maybe your shirt. Pick up an object and maybe examine its weight. Is it heavy? Light? Focus on any other physical qualities. Next, we're going to move on and listen, trying to find 3 things that you can hear around you. Paying special attention to the sounds your mind has tuned out. Maybe a ticking clock, traffic outside, maybe your phone, your laptop making a noise. 3 things you can hear. Now let's try finding 2 things we can smell. Try to notice smells maybe in the air around you, like an air freshener. Maybe you cooked some dinner earlier today and you can smell the food. And you can also look around your room and search for something that has a scent. Maybe some flowers or maybe an unlit candle. And finally, what is one thing you can taste? If you have something to drink with you, a snack, water, tea, juice, candy. I have a mint with me. Eat it, drink it, and focus your attention closely on the flavors. Is it sweet? Is it spicy? Is it hot? Is it cold? This is a way to ground yourself and feel present in the moment and in control of your feelings. Now I will pass it to Julissa to finish the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody. I know that the last couple of them were a little bit shorter. I love the yoga chair. Thank you so much for everybody's involvement in this. I wanted to just take a little time to remind everybody that, incorporate these 3 different relaxation exercises as short or as long as you need it throughout your day. And remind you all about the different groups that we have as well. We have our grief support groups for all ages. Our grief support groups are 100% free, and they start at ages 4. We have elementary, middle, and high school and young adult groups, as well as adult groups in English and Spanish. We also have a perinatal and infant loss group, and a group for those who experience a loss in the Surfside building collapse. To join our groups is very easy. All you have to do is call the 888 number or email us at support@childbereavement.org. There's absolutely no referral needed. It's our participants can self-enroll when you're ready, and there is no wait list. So you can join in anytime once you're ready. And this conversation tonight, we have conversations regularly throughout the year that are free for the community. I encourage you to join our newsletter if you wanted to be kept up to date on all upcoming events that we have. We also have different lunch and learns that are professional events where we bring in a national expert that talk on grief related topics, and several events that are in person in the community, several pop-up events. We also have our upcoming Steps for Healing on November 19th. It is our annual 5K, so we encourage you to sign up. You can learn more at stepsforhealing.org. We have actually several events in the month of November lined up. So again, sign up to our newsletter. You'll be able to register for them. We have several collaborations with the Dear Zoe team, which is a movie who talks about grief. So we will have a conversation with CBC with the producer next month. We will also have our Steps for Healing 5K. And on the 29th is Giving Tuesday. I encourage you to help support grieving children and families if you can. And also, we have an opportunity where if you shop at Target, you can help CBC. You should be able to donate some of your votes. We have the steps here for you, so you can follow. If you shop at Target, you just need to go to your Target app and tap on the Target circle. There are a couple of votes there that you can donate to nonprofits, and if you want, you can donate to the Children's Bereavement Center. And you can also go to target.com in the circle to find out more about that. Here's the website. Finally, if you enjoyed today and if you have any other recommendations for us when it comes to these types of events, to different conversations with CBC, please do complete the survey and let us know. We want to hear from you. What other information do you want? What other things do you think will be valuable to you for future conversations with CBC? So you can either get your phone and on the camera, you can look through the camera and get the QR code, or you can go to the link. I'll also post a link in the chat where you can complete the survey. So that's all for today. Thank you so much, everybody. And thank you again to Krista, to Leah, and Amanda for being so amazing. It was so great having you here today. Thank you, everybody, and have a good night.